What's up everybody? This is Rob with the Freeze Aquariums. Today I am doing an unboxing for Jeecoo. For some of you that follow my channel may have seen my two unboxings for their headphones for gaming or listening to music on your phone, stereo, whatever. They reached out to me and they have a new speaker soundbar for your computer, your cell phones, and a few other electronics, TVs. So what I have is the Jeecoo A40. As you can see right there what it's compatible with. I'm going to jump right into it because it's not one of my normal fish related videos, which all the nano fish in there that I showed you in a video a while ago are doing great. The celestial pearl danios that I got from Keith over at KG Aquatics, who's pretty local to me now since I bought my house, they colored up beautiful. I'm probably going to do a follow-up video to that, but from my understanding, not to stray off topic, Keith is dealing with some health issues, so if you happen to catch this, Keith, I'm praying for you and wishing for all the best. So with that being said, this is a USB computer speaker. Really easy to utilize. I don't know if it's going to pick it up, but right here you can control these lights. It's a one button operation system with your four speakers, dynamic speakers as they call them. So for the lights that I just showed you, you do a one-touch lighting effect. Lighting one will give you a rainbow color cycle. Lighting two is a single color pulsating and changing. Lighting 3 is a single color changing, and light 4 is a solid color. You touch for 3 seconds to reset your Bluetooth connections. The knob that I showed you is rotary, so it's volume decrease, volume increase. The one click, as I mentioned, to switch between Bluetooth and USB, and if you press and hold it for 3 seconds, it will turn off or turn on. They do have a note about when speakers are at max sound levels, it beeps as a reminder. Please stop rotating the knob. So I guess once you rotate it to a certain point, that's as far as you can go. So the parameters for this, the speaker sizes are 2" times 2. The output power is 5 watts times 2. Frequency response is 160 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Your audio input, as I mentioned, is Bluetooth or USB. And the power supply, it's USB powered 5 volt 2 amp, which they say is not included. So let's take a look at it. And like I said, you can use it with your cell phone, you can use it with your tablet, you can use it with your computer, and you should be able to use it if your TV is Bluetooth capable with your TV. So this is how it comes. There's your USB. Comes with your adapters. And your owner's manual. So as I mentioned, Bluetooth mode is capable with iPads, smartphones, and from what I can see, it looks like you can get a USB or a power supply. And it goes into the different things. Pretty decent laid out manual. They have a listing for some other items, from headphones, mini PC bars, laptop single speaker, and another Bluetooth style. So let's take a look at this. So there's your speakers, your control knob, your other set of speakers, your lighting controls, rubber feet so that you don't damage anything, scratch your surfaces. It's a pretty solid unit. It's got some weight to it. So what I'm going to do is I will hook this to my cell phone and we'll see how it sounds. So we're going to use my old Samsung S9 Plus and we'll go through and show you what it looks like on how it connects. So of course, if you're going to plug it into your computer, it's going to be powered. So let's see if using one of these adapters via my cell phone will work. All right, so connecting this, unfortunately, you can see I have a case on my phone, a Unicorn Beetle case. With that being said, I run into a lot of issues where I'll have fast chargers that use this, but it's L-shaped. So when you have it sitting in a charger, the cord comes this way and plugs in. With a lot of these cases, that doesn't work, it doesn't fit. All right, so I have it out of the case. This phone is several years old. Not a scratch, nothing. A lot to be said about keeping a case on it, except it's pretty much worthless now because there's so many newer phones. Now we're going to go into the lighting modes. So there's your light control. It's a soft touch. So right now I'm starting with it off. Your first one, well, let me go back here. First one is rainbow color changing. Try not to touch the button because it's super sensitive. Lighting 2 is your single color pulsating change. Not very much on the pulsating side. Lighting 3 is going to be your single color change. And then number 4 is going to be your select the solid color. And it's just a matter of hitting them to turn them, you know, the colors. So now it's off. I'm going to try to play some music. I'm going to try not to get a copyright strike. Okay. So as I showed you, when you move the control knob, you can see it controlling it right there. And it's pretty responsive. So let's see. I don't want to play too much. Let me see if I can find something else. Now, I've got 2 fans going, so it's kind of hard for me to really hear how loud it is. Here, let's try this. That's a little bit better. I don't want to get in trouble for that either. So, listening between those 2 songs, the first one was a live radio broadcast from Paris. So even on my phone, it wasn't super loud. The one I just played is directly from the album, and it wasn't too bad. So it's not super loud. I'll get into that in a second. So now, if for whatever reason you're rocking out doing a water tank change, water change, you know, your tank husbandry, whatever, your phone goes dead, so does your speaker. All right, so with that being said, I can't show you the Bluetooth connections because I don't have a power supply. I probably could find, because it's a US power supply, I could probably utilize one of my old phone chargers and it would work. They do go into your laptop, your MacBooks, your Pro Air Pros, whatnot, and you know what to do. Let's get into parameters. So Bluetooth version 5.3, the distance is plus or minus or less or greater than 10 meters. Output power is 5 watts times 2. Speaker size 2-inch. Frequency response 60 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Now, as I mentioned, the power supply, it's a USB 5 volt 1A to 2A. So a lot of these chargers that come with your phones will probably power it because it was running off the battery of my phone. Again, Bluetooth, USB. I was running it USB. The size is 42 by 7.3 by 5 centimeters. Because it comes from Japan, they don't give it to you in inches. But that's length, height, and width. So that's coming from a phone with no speaker. At least no external speaker. Just to give you a little bit of comparison, again, trying not to get a copyright strike. So my thoughts in general is it's kind of a stylish unit. As you can see, you know, size comparison. It's not bad. Does have some weight to it. In the manual, it tells you basically, you know, what it consists of, as I mentioned in the parameters. So they talk about the lighting touch. They talk about the status indicator, which was the blue light, your multifunction control, your USB, your RGB lighting zones here and here, and they talk about vibrating diaphragm and a driver. Now, the diaphragm to me is a buzzword. It's just the speaker's ability to move back and forth. As you heard when I turned it all the way up, I can't imagine that 2-inch speaker really bouncing. I would have thought it would have been louder than what it is. But I guess as I play around with it a little bit more, who knows? This is about 30 and change on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. As I say in all my videos, and I forewarn any of the manufacturers that reach out to me that ask me if I would, you know, do a review and test it out. And I tell them, if it's something good, I'm going to tell my subscribers. If it's garbage, I'm going to tell them the same thing. But anybody that asks me to test things like Higer and whatnot, they know that that my opinion can't be bought. All right, so my final thoughts on the Jeecoo A40. The design, the feel, the look, I like it. Pretty solid. It's got some weight to it. You know, they mentioned about the 2-inch speakers. They mentioned about the driver. The reason I mentioned the driver, I'll get into in a second. The versatility between Bluetooth and USB. Now, going back to the drivers, you know, a lot of techno geeks, know what drivers do. They drive the sound. They give it its volume. It gives it its beat. You know, gives it its boost, etc. Now, a 2-inch speaker, the first song, I mean, in my vehicle it plays fine. It's loud because, of course, you're, you know, going through your stereo system, so it beefs it up. Going through here, that first song was medium, wasn't super loud. The second song came straight from the album. That was a little bit louder. So hearing the difference between the two, the second song definitely sounded good. It was a little bit louder. But when you mention drivers and you mention the vibrating dynamics, where it's basically the speaker cone flexing, you're not getting the volume that's going to, you know, cause that to happen. It's not going to, the driver is not punching that sound through, causing that speaker to vibrate and put out some seriously loud music. So to me, that's the downside of this speaker. At $30, 30 and change off Amazon, I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. I would have expected a lot louder. As you saw when I played the phone, that doesn't have any external speaker, just a little hole for it. At least on the first song, it was as loud, if not louder. Second song, just as loud, again, if not louder. So it's not totally crap, but I want it louder. You know, you got a 2-inch speaker in there. I want it to pump a little bit more. So I don't know if that has to do with it was running off the battery of my phone and the drivers really couldn't kick in. And of course, I don't have a USB charger near to try it. But I think when I find one, I'll hook it up and I'll try it again to see if it's a little louder. If it is, if it really kicks in, I'll come back and do a follow-up video. If you never see a follow-up video, there was no difference. I'm not wasting my time, and I sure am not wasting your time. I went through the whole video. I was wrapping up the video, giving you a con, and I said, you know, if I could find a charger, you know, I would give it a try. So I actually found it's plugged in at the moment, a regular like Apple white plug-in. So I plugged it in, tested it. So I want to bring it back to you. I didn't want to leave it hanging without a full deal here. Now, with the Bluetooth, it came up as Jeecoo A40 and paired. It was 1, 2, 3, quick and easy. But I'm going to show you the difference as far as sound is concerned. So you can kind of, if you use it off your phone battery, don't expect loud music. Don't expect anything good. So now the drivers are doing what the drivers are supposed to do. Let's see, I have to pull a little bit more plug out here. But when I ended the video, I was like, no, I've got to test it further. So here we go. And I talked about the beep where once you go too far, it'll beep and tell you it's up to stop rotating it. Hear how loud that is? Now, the dynamic vibrating speakers, the drivers are doing their job. So as not to get a copyright strike. So there you go, folks. Just going that extra mile can change the direction that someone's video is going in. So now you heard it plugged in. You know, it's got a decent cord. I have probably about a foot or so over the kitchen island plugged into it. hooking it up to Bluetooth, super easy. Being plugged in doesn't really change the brightness of the lights, but I'm more about the sound. I want to hear it. So now, folks, I can say for the $30 and change, this speaker kicks butt. Definitely loud enough. That's with two fans going, and that was sitting down probably that far from the phone. I like it. Now I can say it's a good speaker. Now it's done its job. I'm super happy with it. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling on DeFreeze Aquariums today. We're kicking it up. We're rocking it. We're going to knock your socks off, so stay tuned. It's Rockin' Bobby D. I digress. So I just flipped through a couple quick songs. You could hear the bass. You could hear the tinniness of the guitar on the high notes. I'm happy. It's a good speaker. Now I can tell you go check it out. But keep in mind, if you run it off your phone, it's not going to do its job. Now here, and you probably have this around. That's all I used. Just a USB plug. And it worked. It powered it. It got the drivers to do its job and pump those speakers, you know. And all you need, something USB. You don't want something super powerful because you don't want to burn it out. But at any rate, this is an Apple charger that I had laying in a box somewhere. So now I can leave you in good conscience. I was let the outro go, but I was like, wait a minute. I'm not doing you guys justice by going that extra mile. And my mind was like, you got to test it further. There's got to be something. They can't sell something like this and have it where you can't even hear it over a fan. So with that, now we'll do the official outro. Again, thank you all for stopping by, staying with me so that I could actually show you the speaker does rock. You're doing a water change, you're laying outside getting, some rays, having a cold beverage. You want to play your audio book. As long as you've got a means to plug it in, you'll have no problem hearing it over any of the ambiance or the ambient noise or whatever the hell the word is, surrounding noise. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless, peace. Now I'm out.